Okay, folks, the most important end-of-year accolade is now upon us. It's New Year's Eve 2023, and these are the Scream Blast Repeat Top 50 Albums of the Year. We reviewed 274 albums in 2023 and enjoyed most of them. Trends in heavy guitar music did not appear as obvious this year, with most hype focused on anonymous English iconoclasts Sleep Token, who astonished everyone when they sold 10,000 tickets for the triumphant Wembley show. It's debatable whether you can even call them a metal band, but no one can doubt the credentials of another artist that received the Future of Metal tag from Sweden. We are, of course, talking about Orbit Culture, who will have the pick of the major heavy metal labels after leaving Seek and Strike last month. This year saw an abundance of post-metal and sludge albums that would have been perfect for the world recession that never happened. Are there any other subgenres of metal as fixated on trauma and anxiety as these two forms of music? The legacy of nu metal continues to stick its tentacles into new generations of Anglo-American bands. Code Orange moved even further towards the contentious movement that defined the Fender Millennium without ruining their sound, and highly rated metalcore quintet Dying Wish did the same with their sophomore effort. Death metal saw the release of big-name albums from Obituary, Suffocation, Cannibal Corpse, and Autopsy, but all eyes were on the Cattle Decapitation record as the bellwether for the genre's overall health. Black metal witnessed the return of Död Heimsgard, Shining, and Marduk, while thrash metal welcomed back its founder and fathers in Metallica. It's no secret that Scream Blast Repeat enjoy the more experimental forms of heavy music. Prog metal had as many notable releases as any subgenre, with the likes of Periphery, Haken, Tesseract, and Veil of Maya all adding to their legacy in 2023 with important albums. So, which ones were our favourites? These are the Scream Blast Repeat Top 50 Albums of 2023. Let's start with the first 10. At number 50, we have Welsh math metal visionary James Jimbob Isaac and his new project Silverburn with the debut album Self-Induced Transcendental Annihilation. At 49, we have English death metal quartet Memoriam with Rise to Power. Liverpool post-metal crew Myru take the number 48 spot with their debut album Soul Cultus. Do you like death doom metal? English unit Grief Symposium coming at number 47 with In the Absence of Light. Finnish debutants The Abbey, featuring members of Shape of Despair and Hex Vessel, come in at 46 with Word of Sin. At 45, we have Swedish post-metalers Collapse with Phantom Center. US death metal legends Dying Fetus released their first album in 6 years. They take the number 44 slot in our charts with Make Them Beg for Death. Massachusetts doom metal trio Benthic Realm released their debut album this year after 2 well-received EPs. Vessel secures the number 43 spot. At 42, we have Scottish grindcore quartet Gendo Ikari with Roku Bungi. Coming in at 41 are German avant-garde metal fiends Malady with For We Are the Plague. Are you still with us? Do you like experimental hardcore music? Danish trio Ox hit the number 40 spot with the Primordial Blues. At 39, we have American prog metal giants Periphery with Periphery 5, Gent is Not a Genre. Coming in at 38 are US extreme progressive metalers Vintasy with Woven Into Ashes. They came back with a new sense of purpose in 2023. American death metal quartet Horrendous take the number 37 spot with Ontological Mysterium. Norway is the location for number 36 with Död Heimsgard and their magnificent comeback LP Black Medium Current. Metal Blade Records saw the potential in LA progressive tech death quintet The Zenith Passage. They take the number 35 spot with Data Elysium. Who's heard of a new genre called void metal? Neither have we, but international duo Omega Infinity secures the 34 slot on this chart with The Anti-Current. At number 33, we have Manchester metallic hardcore heroes Guilt Trip with Severance. Finnish experimental black metal debutants Henget emerged from nowhere this year, and they take the 32 spot on this chart with Beyond Northstar. Congratulations to English legends Evil for producing a fine piece of muscular thrash metal with The Unknown. They take the number 31 position. We're getting closer to the top 25 albums of 2023. Now is the time to pause and nip to the toilet or grab a drink. At number 30, we have the now defunct Swiss progressive metal unit Herod and their album Iconoclast. At 29 are US thrash metal warriors Enforced with War Remains. Coming in at number 28 is Fauna by English prog metal heavyweights Haken. American death metal quartet Fuming Mouth take the number 27 position on the chart with Last Day of Sun. International prog metal debutants Temic secure the number 26 spot with Terror Management Theory. This is where things become interesting. Strap yourself in for the Golden 25 of 2023. At number 25, we have Void by Canadian noise rock titans Ken Mode. They released it on the 22nd of September via Artifact Records. Ken Mode will never be easy listening, but it will surprise you how much you can sit through this record in the mind of a voyeur rather than a tormentor. As a sequel to Null, it triumphs as a darker piece of contemplation with a focus on the subtleties missing from the last album. At number 24, we have English progressive deathcore disruptors Vexed with Negative Energy. They released it on the 23rd of June via Napalm Records. The songwriting approach in the first 8 songs is simple. Pound the listener into submission with monstrous drop-tune grooves and flay them with unrepentant words of truth. A strangulating mood of claustrophobia haunts Negative Energy. Like a sequel to Korn's Life is Peachy, back in the day, that record sounded like an imprisonment of the mind with no hope of recovery. At number 23, we have US legends Will Haven with Seven. They released it on the 7th of July via Minus Head Records. 28 years into their career, Will Haven still present us with that perennial question, what is this music? It's a testament to their originality that we still have no succinct answer. The guitarists eschew solos, the drums play in common time, the vocals seldom deviate away from gut-spilling screams, and yet they sound like nothing else. At 22, we have Australian prog death titans Nea Obliviscaris with Exo. They released it on the 24th of March via Season of Mist. Prog metal has seen some big name releases this year, and Nea Obliviscaris could teach Haken, Periphery and Entheos a thing or two about how to structure their albums for maximum listening engagement. Exo is worth the wait after so many false starts and should enhance the band's reputation even further after this effort. Coming in at 21 is 93696 by cerebral New York black metal crew Liturgy. They released it on the 24th of March via Thrill Jockey Records. Liturgy have always been transfixed by the idea of creating transcendental black metal through the incorporation of other genres, most notably progressive rock and electronica. On 93696, they make their most daring attempt to reach this objective via the power of angelic soprano harmonies and chaotic guitar melodies. So which albums made it into the top 20? At number 20 is Nothing Stays Hidden in Daylight by London post-metal quartet Novia. They released it on the 1st of October via Trepanation Recordings. Novia like to inject you with enhanced substances and then calm you with the antidote. This music utilizes heavy guitars like the great grunge bands of the day before the Templar became something to dilute and reshape for radio. Not here. The slower doom metal moments throb in anguish. The effervescent dynamics gather strength like whirlpools sucking you into the void. Number 19 is Belgian black and post-metal group Predatory Void with 7 Keys to the Discomfort of Being. They released it on the 21st of April via Century Media. Listen how sporadic grooves work their way through the music like sepsis. The noise and filth of the distortion are menacing enough to leave you with tinnitus. Do you feel your mouth making silent hissing shapes as the muddy downpicking guitars threaten to jump out of the speakers? This is the sound of isolated misery from a person cut off from all human relations. Brazilian death metal vixens Crypta arrive at number 18 with Shades of Sorrow. They released it on the 4th of August via Napalm Records. An analysis of the lyrical themes on Shades of Sorrow shows a preponderant emphasis on depression and anxiety. It feels like a personal album straight from Fernanda Lira's anguished heart. Claustrophobia, persecution and vengeance are as common here as the virtues of fortitude and survival. We head to England for number 17. Svalbard produced another fine album with their latest effort, The Weight of the Mask. They released it on the 6th of October via Nuclear Blast. The band's determination to insert a nostalgic sorrow into an art form famous for its unhinged aggression is what puzzles metalheads. It also scares those in the indie rock scene that like the solipsistic tendencies of alternative music, but cannot tolerate the black metal strain running through the vocals. This is not black gaze, nor is it the post-metal you can recognise in the DNA of Neurosis. London hardcore death metal quartet Burner take the number 16 spot with It All Returns to Nothing. They released it on the 23rd of June via Church Road Records. It's clear that Burner wastes no energy on this record. Every downward crunch of the guitar has a purpose. Churning bass lines rumble underneath the distortion like loose wagon trailers threatening to break off from their master vehicles at the first sign of a pothole. Vocalist Harry Knott screams into his microphone like a starving man with a plate of chicken wings in front of him. There's more to come from these South Londoners, yet this is an electrifying debut record. It was one of the most anticipated sophomore albums in the underground, and Dutch extreme metal iconoclast Autarch light up number 15 with Emergent. They released it on the 10th of November via Season of Mist. Throughout it all, you wonder if Autarch have realised the sound that Gojira threatened but failed to unleash on their last two records. Aggression and melody coexist with drop-tuned guitars and mutate into slabs of noise that thrive on sharp edges and progressive layering. They now refer to themselves as contemporary metal adventurers, but Autarch are in clear prog metal territory here. They've been one of the breakout stars of 2023. Swedish death metalers Orbit Culture made us sit up and take notice with their latest effort, Descent. They come in at number 14 for the record they released on the 18th of August via Seek and Strike. Clearly the Swedes decided that they should let the chunky guitar riffs be the focus of their musical rituals on this record. The fact that Orbit Culture can envisage a heavy metal Thunderdome where Metallica, Gojira and Fear Factory coexist like a triumvirate of judges opening a Bloodsport event is testament to their confidence. Congratulations to Swiss avant-garde extreme metal crew Trounce for landing the lucky 13th position on this chart with the 7 crowns. They released it on the 20th of October via Hummus Records. The fact that this art school veneration of noise and unhinged aggression revels in monstrous low guitar tunings is almost as surprising as the absence of screaming vocals. You can see how Trounce could become a black metal equivalent to what Voivod did to thrash metal when they took it apart and rebuilt it as an astral audio experience. At number 12 is The Sin of Human Frailty by US mathcore supergroup End. They released it on the 27th of October via Closed Casket Activities. You cannot remove your headphones at any point during these 31 minutes of carnage. At times, you'll need to put yourself in the shoes of a shell-shocked soldier from the First World War. Their brand of down-tuned mathcore is the type of noise terrorism the metal world needs right now. Those that perish during the band's audio assault will be in no fit state for an autopsy. Arriving at number 11 is Terrorsight by death metal heavyweights Cattle Decapitation. They released it on the 12th of May via Metal Blade Records. Cattle Decapitation know their time is now. They have the confidence to end Terrorsight with a 10-minute death metal opera built on enchanting pianos and crowned in the triumph of a misanthropic epiphany. The Sisters of Mercy-esque climax will leave you in awe. We waited to see if the San Diego Quintet could produce their 4th classic in a row, and they do not disappoint. Okay, now's the moment where you wonder if your favourite band made the list for the Scream Blast Repeat Top 10 Albums of the Year. At number 10, we have New York metal legends Prong with State of Emergency. They released it on the 6th of October via Steamhammer. They emerged from hardcore, flirted with alternative rock, put their own spin on Anthrax, rewrote the manual for industrial metal, and never forgot their love of post-punk. You can hear all these innovations in this album. Tommy Victor is the unsung hero of metal, and State of Emergency is his way of reminding us that his band have always been ahead of their time. Do you like weird experimental metal? Now's your chance to give it a try. At number 9 is Thy Catafalque from Hungary with Alfeld. They released it on the 16th of June via Season of Mist. How many times can Thy Catafalque produce an incredulous reaction in one song? Sometimes you can hear early Therion in this music, other times you'll feel like Tomasz Kataj has you in a prog metal odyssey with Igor at the decks. A vague sense of bewilderment gives way to a dashing overflow of bedazzlement at every turn. At number 8 is A Feast on Sorrow by English progressive sludge thrash trio Urn. They released it on the 11th of August via Candlelight Records. Post-metal rage, thrash metal pizzazz and sludgy grooves permeate through this LP like toxic smoke. Out go the Black Sabbath and Orange Goblin sounds from their debut, and in come Conjurer and Machine Head. This is a metal record of loss and anguish, of living with loved ones condemned by degenerative diseases to an early exit from the stage of life. Coming in at number 7 are Pittsburgh Chaos Mongers Code Orange with The Above. They released it on the 29th of September via Blue Grape Music. Code Orange exceeded their potential on their 2020 record, and they do the same here. Why be content as the king of a nation when you can be the emperor of the world? They have some way to go, but the top is within view. Does heavy guitar music get more exciting than this? They base their albums on famous novels set on the oceans, and German avant doom quartet Ahab take the number 6 spot on this chart with the Coral Tombs. They released it on the 13th of January via Napalm Records. The term they use to describe their music might be contrived, but Ahab are right about one thing. They have a unique sound that belongs to them. The Coral Tombs is a magnificent album that leaves you astonished by the quartet's ability to make doom metal so riveting and addictive. You cannot take your mind off this record during the listening experience, nor can you forget it after the event. At number 5 are Irish sludge metal heroes Realm Kingdom with their album Monarch. They released it on the 27th of January via Argonauta Records. From day one in 2013, Realm Kingdom wanted to create a soul-crushing sonic experience for the listener, and they don't abandon this primary objective on opener Red Admiral. The delicate amp feedback at the beginning gives way to belching low-end guitars and visceral hardcore screaming within 20 seconds. You know this will be an all-encompassing experience of empathic mental turmoil. Why bother with antidepressants when you can exercise your demons through the power of music? Coming in at number 4 is New Zealand progressive death metal quintet Blindfolded and Led to the Woods with Rejecting Obliteration. They released it on the 19th of May via Prosthetic Records. The most obtuse melodies are always in danger of swerving into a tidal wave of death metal ferocity. Have you heard anything like the chromatic shred patterns of Bethlehem, where the guitars side through the mix as the bass, drums and vocals lock into a mesmerizing percussive attack? No band has dared to infuse sorrowful melodies and discordant guitar shapes in such a confident and coherent manner. Avant-garde metal has a new leader. At number 3, we congratulate English prog metal giants Tesseract for their triumphant return in 2023. They released their 5th album, War of Being, on the 15th of September via Kscope. Like all prog records, nothing happens in the way you anticipate it. The monumental expedition through the title track starts with a succession of finger-twisting metal riffs and heroic double kick grooves in line with the band's famous technical minimalist approach. Clearly, the group learned a thing or two from their 2016 tour in support of Gojira, but it's impossible to compare the up-and-down dynamics with any other artist. Coming in at number 2 is the black and progressive metal brilliance of Dawn of Ouroboros with Velvet Incandescence. They released it on the 21st of April via Prosthetic Records. It looked like experimental metal had a new vision in the early 2010s before those that merge atonal black metal with pensive alternative rock attracted the attention of the hipster crowd. Dawn of Ouroboros show that the two can coexist with guitars that sear the face and strangle the heart at the same time. Chelsea Murphy's high reverb vocal daydreams at the beginning might convince you that you've wandered onto a lonely lagoon in search of ecosystems untainted by the presence of man. So which of your favourite albums did we miss? Will it be our number 1? Drum roll please. At number 1 we have English mathcore trio Pupil Slicer with their sophomore album Blossom. They released it on the 2nd of June via Prosthetic Records. Pupil Slicer are in that once-in-a-lifetime moment of a band's career when the status quo of heavy music looks towards them as a barometer for the future. Seldom does an album with so many risks triumph, but Blossom is a rare exception. It's as heavy as anything you'll hear all year, yet it swoons with colourful timbers and bristles with an overflow of ideas. Pupil Slicer have elevated mathcore to new levels with this record. Congratulations to Pupil Slicer for landing the #1 spot on this chart. Let us know in the comments which albums we missed, which ones should have been higher in the charts. Did we overlook any obvious contenders who made 2023 their own? Which genres did we neglect in our top 50? Let's start a conversation. Enjoy 2024 and thanks for watching in 2023. Remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook, and, more importantly, please visit our website at www.screenblastrepeat.com for the latest album and EP reviews from established, up-and-coming and unsigned artists in the worlds of experimental extreme metal, prog, and dark alternative.